Are we on? Uncle Henry here.
Through the years, I've always had the ability to put people to sleep when they listen.
Uncle Henry Internet Show, thank you for looking in tonight.
I think I was born unusually and uncomfortably personal. We're sending nasty jokes to each other over.
My mother's not a beast, damn you!
We worship the youth of our country. What about the elderly?
All right, look, calm down, because this is Facebook. This is different from real TV. Hang up on this guy, you sick freak! Turn the volume down on this. I'm not ready for that kind of garbage. The graphics working. Would you stop it? You scumbag prick! Dadgummit, I wish I could just... Thank you so much, thank you! All right, stop! Stop, you're eating into Killer Beaz time. Please stop. Welcome to the Uncle Henry Internet Show. Here from deepfriedstudios.com. Tonight, an unbelievable lineup of guests as we try to end the year as strong as possible. Killer Beaz is here tonight. One of Mobile's favorites. And also musical guest Abe Partridge. Abe Partridge presented by Callahan's. Thank you, Callahan's. Also tonight, we're also going to have people guess what's in the dadgum mystery box. The mystery box brought to you by Lanyap. Support Lanyap, lanyapmobile.com. Support that, please. Now, also a couple of things to mention. Johnny Gwynn, you've been watching the show and you want to meet the producer of the show, Johnny Gwynn. Johnny Gwynn is going to be at the Holiday Market at the Pillars tomorrow from 9 until 3 with all these wonderful materials like the Joe Kane. You don't know what to get somebody for Christmas? The Joe Kane gigantic mug.
Yeah. It's a cup of Joe.
It's a cup of Joe, whatever. Look, come on, don't. You're expecting a lot. I'm already under pressure, not wanting to let Killer Beaz and Abe Partridge down.
Okay.
But it's a cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe. So
this and all these wonderful T-shirts available at the Pillars tomorrow beginning at 9. Pardon me. YouTube was playing on my phone. All right, now, before we go any further, happy National Sock Day to our friend Sock Cop.
Sock Cop.
Sock Cop, if I remember correctly, will be on the show next week as one of our guests in our special Christmas special.
That's right.
That's next week. We want to thank the people that make this show possible. Want to run down a list of people that donate money to the program. That's how we fund the show. Do you want to see the show continue into 2021? We'll need support. Congratulations to all the associate executive producers that have donated to the show. Robert Wager, Scotty White, Wendy Jen, Mofovius, Frida Schnittler, Harrison McInnes, Shelby Mitchell, Phil DeBalzac, Ron Reeves, Rick Henry, Seymour Butt Ox, Prince Albert Inacan, Philip Skiba, Dalton Lister, Suzanne Zimmer, Percy Master P. Manders, Jay Akins, Matt Big Head Green. Thank you all. Now these people, these are all of Johnny Gwynn's relatives that have donated because Johnny Gwynn said, give this to me for my birthday. So they all donated for his 50th birthday. Thank you for that. Executive producers, these are the people that have given large sums of cash, and they include Alan Cario and Frida Schnitzler, Rob Holpert, Leah Brown, LD the Mad Trucker, Dorothy Doc Clayton, Cheryl Gwynn, Bama Big Man and Mrs. Bama Big Man, Bridget Jerkins of Royal Street Barbers, Doug Faust, God bless you, Doug Faust, Wendy Lynn Norris, G.I. Jane, Aunt Karen Simmons. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's how we support the show, with all of your donations. We have not gotten rich off of this. We've reinvested in equipment. I saw a lot of Michelob Ultra. And also to Dan the Sound Man. Right. You can go to PayPal and look for Deep Fried Live on PayPal. Look on Venmo.com for Deep fried live, and that's how you donate to the show and keep it going into next year. Now, before we bring out Killer Beaz, oh, by the way, there's a dadgum something or another that if you scan with your phone, then something will happen. And I'm unaware of what, I don't ever scan anything with my phone.
It goes to porn.
Now, the mystery box. What's in the Lagniappe mystery box? Now, last week's winner was nobody. Nobody guessed what was in the mystery box last week.
You didn't say the words. Nobody last week sent to deepfriedstudios.com any prediction at all. So I think we have pushed the edge of what people want to deal with the container that holds the thing.
All right, look, if you correctly guess or get really close, you win a year digital subscription to Lagniappe. You also win respect and awe of the Container Boys, and I don't care about this. Now, the rules is something we talk about on tonight's show will be in that mystery box, something related to it. What you do is center yourself. Well, you explain this because I don't believe in the occult.
So you center yourself, you quiet yourself, you think, and I will penetrate your brain with my thought. And then you will choose wisely, and then you will send your prediction to deepfriedstudios@gmail.com. So there you go.
There you go. So make your own guesses at home. You could win that year digital subscription to Lagniappe. Well worth it. They are a terrific news organization looking into important things in our lives. Now, before we bring out, and we're getting close to bringing out Killer Beaz, one more thing.
Getting there.
One more thing. I've thought, what a great name. Killer Beaz. What a great comedic name. Nobody ever forgets Killer Beaz. But we've got alternative names. These are some of the rejected comedian names for Killer Beaz. These are names that Killer Beaz went through and decided not to use. Yes, rejected comedian names for Killer Beaz.
Behind the curtain here.
He could have been Bumblebees. He could have been Worker Bees. He could have been Queen Bees. He could have been Grand Babies, because everybody loves to show pictures of their grand babies. He could have been Cry Babies. He could have been Zombies. He could have been Juju Bees. He could have been Wannabes. He could have been Do Bees. Now just think about the merchandising alone if he had been Do Bees.
Yes.
Ray Bees would have been a fun name. Boo Bees. Think of the t-shirt sales for the boobies. Killer Whale.
You have to gain weight for that one.
Serial Killer. Murder Hornet.
Murder Hornet.
But no, he went with the best name, we all agree. Killer Beaz. Please welcome to the Uncle Henry Internet Show, Killer Beaz! Yeah! Here he is! Killer Beaz. First of all, thank you. It's always an amazement to me that you agree to talk to me in this town because you've risen to such a level with your career.
It's part of my work release sentencing. And
it is?
Back, it's like community service.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad.
So two birds with one stone.
Well,
and I have been every name that you
Oh, you
picked.
have?
I've been Crybabies. I've been it all. So
now we see the modern day polished professional Killer Beaz that is known far and wide all over probably the world by now.
the secret is Flex Seal. Oh, every day I spray down with Flex Seal.
Beautiful. Now this is a younger version.
Oh, look at that. This jacket, by the way, is a piece made by the artist, the tailor Manuel in Nashville, Tennessee. He did Porter Wagner stuff, all of Dolly Parton stuff.
Wow.
And way back in 1991, 92, something like that, when I signed with Sony Records out of Nashville, Tennessee, at that time they had Epic Records and Columbia. I was on the Columbia side. Columbia Records purchased this jacket, and that's a black and white picture there, but it is a blazing red color with shiny, sparkly things all through it. It was a $2,000 jacket, and they gave it to me.
Wow.
And now, look at me, I'm fat, and I can't wear it anymore.
How about that? You know you've arrived then when somebody's buying you a jacket that costs $2,000.
Isn't that cool?
And you were
That
born.
was pretty
This
neat,
is
man.
a guy born in Mississippi that moved to Andalusia.
I know.
And
No,
he's in,
whoa, let me stop. This is fake news.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've misunderstood your life.
I was born in Andalusia, Alabama. My dad was from Alabama. I am an Alabama person. We moved to Mississippi because we had a lot of money. So,
Okay. All right.
grew up in Jackson, born in Andalusia. My
All right.
dad was from Opp.
All right. I've already gotten backwards here, embarrassed myself.
That's
with
why
Killer
people
Beaz.
aren't trying to guess what's in that box. This kind of misinformation.
Well, I pledge. If we make it, if
That's the
this
reason.
show makes it into 2021, I am going to read the bio more carefully.
I swear I thought you were going to say Bible. Is that
Well,
what you
that
just said? If this show makes it 2020, I'm reading my Bible some more.
Save up, fear the Mongols, Killer Beaz.
That was from somebody's blog, and they keep autographs of stand-up comedians, and that was on our pullback.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I wonder how old that is. Who are the Mongols? Is that the motorcycle gang?
You're the guy that wrote it. So
Well, one time, okay, well, there's that. One time I did a show in a little dive bar, and a motorcycle gang started a fight, and I had to Chuck Norris every one of them. And maybe that was it. If not, and if you're the Mongols and you are Motorcycle Club, I made that up.
all right, okay,
Just
all
then.
right.
Fear the Mongols. That's it. Oh, ooh.
Now, Killer Beaz, talk to us about this photograph. Are those your shoes?
My Beetle boots. Those are Beetle boots.
Now,
I'm
what-
I'm not going to tell my age, but I do have Medicare. When I was growing up as a teenager, the Beatles were hot in America. They just hit. And they wore those little zipper on the side, little bit of a heel boots.
Now,
see, I've got
all right,
hippies in here.
Where were you? Now, were you in Andalusia or Mississippi when the Beatles were arising and ascending?
Mississippi. I went to Mississippi when I was like 5 years old.
All right, so did you buy these when you lived in Mississippi?
Way back, I coerced my mom and dad when I was a teenager and had bangs because the Beatles were out to buy me some boots like that. I had them for years. Now, fast forward 300 years to my current age, and those are excellent boots for stage wear. So,
Yes, yeah.
so
By the way, the people watching on their devices at home or wherever they are, you may not be able to hear the fact we've got a wedding going on next door.
It's a pagan ritual over there.
And
And we can hear screaming. I don't know if
well,
they threw a
they just
bouquet.
did the gender reveal.
Oh,
So,
oh wow. Okay.
that's why. This
That
is
was,
why.
by the
This
way,
kind of stuff.
my mother is recovering from with COVID, and
Get well soon.
her husband's in the hospital. And her husband Joe in the hospital. God bless him. All praying for Joe. And my mother said she needed some comedy tonight, so check that off.
That's right.
There's that.
It's been checked off with gender reveal quip.
Now, check this out. Story that's got to be told.
Yes.
I got the name Killer Beaz playing blues guitar in Jackson, Mississippi. I am much better at spoken word performance, but I'm a killer guitar player. Anyway, this Telecaster of mine, Fender Telecaster, I take on the road with me a lot and just play it in my hotel room or whatever between shows. But way up here is an autograph by Ed King. That is the gentleman who, when he was a teenager, co-wrote Incense and Peppermints for the Strawberry Alarm Clock. As a teenager, he had a #1 charting song, virtuoso guitar player. Fast forward many years later, he was hired by the Leonard Skinner Band, and he wrote that killer guitar lick for Sweet Home Alabama and co-wrote the song with Ronnie Van Zant. Dear friend of mine. Now, I had Ed King sign this guitar in, I bet that's like 1992. Years later, he had a heart transplant. and I went back to his house while we were doing a project for Sony and had him sign it again. He signed it then. This is an old photograph. He re-signed it with a different heart in his body. And so I've never named a guitar, and when you name guitars, you're supposed to name them a female name, but I named that guitar the King, Ed King of Hearts, because he had two different hearts when he signed that guitar. I still have that guitar. I played it today, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
So how cool is that, man?
This might be the best anecdote. Is this the best anecdote of the year? And we're just barely started. But that is incredible. But on the boots, what was a Mississippi reaction? Did the other Mississippi people go, wow, we love your boots? Or
No. When I lived in Mississippi, that was hippie. They don't want no hippie. My daddy was a policeman. He didn't want hippies around. if you had one sprig of hair sticking out of your head, you was a hippie. So,
okay.
But they're very cool boots, and they are very good for stage wear.
All right.
So,
now, this is Young Beaz.
that is early in my career when I was a prop act. I started out as a prop act. I was a big Gallagher fan.
I have not heard this yet.
I love the element of surprise with props. I love people who could create just oddball, the O. Henry ending of a story, if you will. I don't remember what this prop is, but if I was doing it now, it'd be a COVID test.
It's you say that you started out as a prop comedian.
Right. I had baby leg head. I had the infant transport bag. I had Cujo, the mad dog hand puppet.
So
Great.
So when you were appearing repeatedly at the Comedy Club in Mobile, that was on Highway 90 near the Whataburger, across from the police headquarters now. One of the other comedians that used to come through town all the time, just like you, was Carrot Top.
That's right.
Dear friend of mine.
So Carrot Top, so he stuck with the props.
Way back, and I'm a decade ahead of Carrot Top. Way back when I was, because I'm in my 39th year of doing stand-up. He's only 39 years old. So, and to that, it has been a wonderful thing to make people laugh and smile for a living, because way back in old-timey days, I worked in a 911 ambulance, and everything related to that job was pretty much a downer.
Right.
The silver lining on a night at work would be maybe that guy didn't die. We did good. So
Okay.
whole different emotional and spiritual level, making people laugh and smile for a living. So anyway, Carrot Top was my opening act way back in old-timey days, when he was just a kid that had a little harness that held the microphone around his neck. We did several shows around the Tampa, Florida area. So we've been good buddies for now 30 years or so.
Wow.
So
I'm learning a lot. I've interviewed you through the years numerous times. This is all new to me.
Well, you're saying the right things.
Good job. Good job. Only took 30 shows for us to get there.
All right, now, staying funny during a pandemic. You tell us about, you make your living going in front of crowds of people, and crowds are frowned upon. So tell us what's the year been like for you?
Well, it's been a tough year, and I'll just go ahead and say it right now. I'm a person of faith, and if it wasn't for that, how in the heck do people get through hard times? Mm-hmm. You know, I've had 4 engagements that I've worked since March the 18th. And I had a full tour. I was cooking. My tenure on Moonshiners is coming around to filling up the theaters and whatnot. And so it has been it's been a battle and a struggle, I guess, or a fight, or I don't want to put this. You have to make yourself, or decide. You have to decide that you're going to have a good outlook, because doing stand-up, doing spoken word performance in front of people has been my life's work. It has been absolutely, for the past almost 40 years now, what I have geared myself toward and worked toward and practiced. And so it's really spooky to have that go away for a while. You know, and they're talking now that really and truly for all us common folks, the vaccine's gonna be around almost summer. So I will be practically a year without any, what, as far as my bills go, means meaningful work. So it's a tough thing, man. And I have to stop and think back of what it was like when I was running ambulance calls and it was doom and gloom, and what it is like now. Okay, my biggest problem now is I'm not making any money. You know, not that I screwed up and this guy died or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you have to take it in perspective, and you got to have faith, man. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Johnny Gwynn has his hand
Are you
up.
giving me a countdown?
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sometimes people go, dude, we've got to go to commercial. Oh, sorry, we don't have commercials.
No
We
commercial.
don't have commercials. Isn't that wonderful?
I listen to a lot of podcasts that have comedians on it, and I understand part of the process is to try out new material. You'll go and work it on stage and get reaction from the crowd to get that act really perfect when you do a special.
Right.
I bet that's got to be really hard when you can't work up the stuff and get reaction and feedback.
And that is correct. You cannot practice doing stand-up comedy in front of a mirror. You cannot recite stuff because when you're on stage and there's an audience there that paid money to see you, they're vested in this performance, and you owe them. Your name's on that ticket. You freaking owe those people. It is so hard then to have your normal breathing rhythm, your normal motor functions that you would have at home. If you're, okay, I wrote this bit, let me stand in front of the mirror. You know, these two dogs is out front having a conversation. When you're on stage, your breathing's different, your motor skills, because you're under duress. They may hate you, and it's a big deal if that bit doesn't work, and there's no way to practice it unless you're under that duress. And that's something else that's going on right now, is it's hard to practice your craft. So thankfully, 39 years in the business, just that longevity and that experience tells me what bits will work. I can kind of now envision me on stage doing it and wordsmith it, where generally it takes trial and error. Still kind of does, but the learning curve is a little shorter at this experience level.
Before we move from the topic, some comics are doing drive-in shows where they're setting up a stage and people drive in and they watch from their cars. Has anybody approached you about that?
They have, and I'm not that mature and that secure and that brave. I need people to respond to what I'm saying, not at the end of a bit beat their car horn.
Yeah, I got you.
I need to watch the people immediately. Every word out of my mouth, I have to monitor the audience reaction and be prepared to move left or right or whatever I need to do. So that's kind of a scary thing. I need the feedback.
Okay.
I need
Silver
the
lining
feedback.
is because you weren't working, we get to get on our show. Thank you very much for coming on our show.
Well, we appreciate that.
There's
All
that.
right, we want to talk to you about something you did get to do earlier this year, Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
Grand Ole Opry, Nashville. I went
There's
in.
your name.
Look at that, right
And right
there,
above
man.
John Oates of Hall & Oates.
Oh yeah.
What's he like?
I'm Killer freaking Beaz.
What's he like?
Depressed. Hey, I met him before I went out and did my set. Hey man, how you doing? I come back, he's like, I gotta follow that.
Wow.
Yeah, but he's got a killer mustache, though.
Actually, I didn't even meet him, but I thought I'd plug me.
But talk about what it was like to be there.
Absolutely fantastic, man. Now, I had done shows before in the Ryman. I did shows with Brooks and Dunn there. I did a Foxworthy special with he and Ingvall in there. So I've done several performances. But to go in for the Grand Ole Opry, which is something that I had lobbied to do for many, many years, way back in old-timey days when a different regime of people were running the Grand Ole Opry, super old school, they would not hire me because my club act, my nightclub act is more risque than other acts that I do. I'm very diversified in what I do, but they would not hire me because they thought that people that saw me on the Opry would see my club act and be offended. So, as a matter of fact, for a long time, I billed myself as banned from the Grand Ole Opry. But anyway, so finally they went, well, dang, man, I can't believe we don't have Killer here. And those people who didn't like me, I guess, went away. And so they brought me in, and they were just absolutely flabbergasted. So they gave me, I've had 4 bookings at the Opry this year, only got to do 1. 3 others have been canceled because of COVID.
Well, congratulations on getting into that.
Yeah, but how cool is that, man? I wish my parents were
incredible.
still alive for that. They would have loved that.
Now,
So
now you've also done some cruise ships. What is the challenge of performing? The audience is in such a different mindset from when they're at home. How does that?
dude, you got to be bad to the bone to do well on cruise ships. Every cruise I did, there were a few where I did extra, but generally it's 5 shows, 5 totally different 30-minute shows every cruise. 3 designated R-rated adult shows and 2 designated PG shows where you would have sunburnt 9-year-olds on the front row looking at you. Yeah, that kid, that guy on the show, and his mama telling him, Travis, say something. So you have to have a deep bench to be successful working the cruise ship. So this is from the Carnival Fantasy. This is from New Year's Eve. They had me several times in a row for their New Year's Eve extravaganza. And so that's a weird gig because the comedians stay down in the crew area, and there's like 57 countries represented by the crews on these cruise ships, and it is absolutely a study in learning to get along with and accepting other cultures. It is amazing.
Before we move on from that, tell me about the audience reaction, though. Do audiences on a cruise ship react differently than they would?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they do, because they have not invested in your show. You're a free show. They're just on the cruise, and they go, well, holy moly, Killer Beaz is on this cruise. Let's ask him if he's got moonshine on the ship.
Oh, but do people like get up in the middle of it and
they come and go. They'll get up in the middle of the show, go, oh, we got dinner at the main dining room. We got to leave. That kind of stuff. And it's when people don't invest in coming to your show, they don't care as much. So you've got to be pretty strong, and you've got to have thick skin and go, it's not me. These people have been drinking all day in Cozumel, Mexico. Now Carnival thought it was a good idea to make me do a show for these people, and you just power through it. But 5 different shows every cruise, all different shows, build you as a comic. Your material builds out the stuff I've written for 40 years. I went back and got stuff from year 2 and brought it in, because that's a lot of material, and it's an audience that's tough anyway. So
it's muscle building.
It's muscle building. It's extreme advanced boot camp.
Wow.
It's black belt class, Uncle Henry.
All right, now tell us about this person.
Oh, okay. Well, this is, and if someone took a picture of this and sent it to me, they took it off their TV. There's the Discovery Channel logo. This was from my first season of Moonshiners on Discovery Channel. Mark and Digger, 2 of the main characters on this show, are huge Killer Beaz fans, dear friends. They're trying to get me on the show. New York's going, well, why do we need this guy? Yada, yada, yada. So I called Ed King. That is the guy that wrote Incense and Peppermints, Sweet Home Alabama, The Last Rebel, many iconic Lynyrd Skynyrd tunes. I called him, and I go, dude, and we're dear friends. I go, he passed away 2 years ago. I go, look, man, I got a chance to do a national TV show. I just need to get a little bump to get on the show. I need your help. He goes, anything, whatever you need, dude, I love you, anything. I go, well, would you buy $30,000 worth of moonshine in your home on camera? He's like, let me call you back. So we negotiated for a couple of weeks, and finally he goes, okay, well, you got to talk to Sharon. That's his wife. That's the gatekeeper. I'm like, oh, just like my wife, Terry, or corporate as we call her, is the gatekeeper for me. Sharon's a gatekeeper. So I'm like, oh, man, there's Pucker Factor, and I got to call Sharon. So I call Sharon, and lo and behold, she goes, well, you know what? She goes, we just bought this new house. It's a mansion. She called it a house. We just bought this new house. Down in the basement, there's 130 gallon jugs of, we think, water. That'd look great on the show. As soon as she said that, I'm like, oh, they want to do it. So we did some little stuff back and forth and got it worked out, and I sold $30,000 worth of gin, which is a multi-step process. You distill liquor, then you macerate different botanicals, juniper and all this weird stuff in it.
Macerate?
Infusing, and kind of infusion. There's a lot of chemistry and physics that goes on in distilling. Anyway, so he said yes, and we called New York, and they go, look, man, if you get Beaz on, he's got the Leonard Skinner guy. Like, what? Yeah, the Skinner guy will buy the moonshine. They go, done. So that's how I got on the show 5 years ago. They had reached out to me as fans, but we were having a hard time getting through to New York, and that cat right there and his wife were gracious enough to spend $30,000.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that I could never make that kind of phone call.
And we delivered it. Well, we go way back. That's the guy from King of Hearts. That's the Two Hearts guy. So we delivered it to his blues bar down on Printer's Alley in Nashville, and it was gone just like that. So
wow.
So awesome. It was real cool. So there's that.
So Moonshiners, you got on the show.
Neither of those is me.
Right. There you go.
There I am. Now this is me. This is 1 year, my year before last, I think.
Beaz, you're not supposed to touch that thing. Is that hot? You burning your hand?
It's really hot, but in this hand right there, I have a bunch of the ground up corn and rye that we were making moonshine of. You put a little water, you make a paste, and where the parts of the steel go together, you have to push that paste down in the little gaps so that alcohol vapors won't escape and blow you up. Because that's one of the things they frown on getting blowed up.
Good.
On TV. They're like, look.
That looks like
those guys up in North Carolina blowed up.
That looks like a real safe workplace, too, by the way.
Do what now?
Looks like a real safe workplace.
You know, OSHA, in the 5 years I've been on Moonshiner, I have never had the OSHA guy show up and do my test or anything. Anyway, so Tuesday night, 60 gallons of cherry vanilla moonshine that Mark and Digger made. They somehow cracked the code of infusing creams into their moonshine. I had to sell 60 gallons. They're loading it in one of my vehicles. I had to sell that and then pay them money to teach me a moonshine class, all on camera.
I have a question about moonshine before
Yes,
we
sir.
go forward. This is a serious question because we have a local person that gifted me some moonshine earlier this year.
There we go.
And well, this is a true story.
Yeah, I know it is. We've heard
Now,
it.
the moonshine they gifted me, unfortunately, had a very powerful laxative effect. Now, is that common, or can that go wrong? Has that ever come up on the show? Has there ever been a mistake in the process that caused that?
No.
Well, it might be me. I might need to go to the doctor.
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it?
Oh, yeah. As you get into distilling and you're going through the apprentice process, you are warned about corn squirts constantly. And I only made this up so I could say corn squirts.
Corn squirts.
All right, then
Yeah,
I apologize.
Band name, I call it.
I apologize to everybody for bringing that
That's
up.
my guess. Corn squirts.
You can't guess yet.
Oh, that's right.
You can't guess yet. All right, so
When I did my classroom with them on TV, this is the schematics of a moonshine still. And so they had none of the things labeled, so I had to go up and label every part of the still. So I've been very well trained in the art of the covert distillation of non-taxable artisan spirits in a non-disclosed location. And this is me, Mark and Digger, and myself. These two guys are actually the heavyweights on the show, and they just bring me in for a few episodes every season, teach me stuff, let me mess stuff up, let me work stuff up. JB Raider, okay, JB has arthritis.
Well,
okay, his hand just does that.
I instinctively knew that when I saw the picture.
When he was in the war to save our country, fighting for our freedom, that happened to his hand. So get this, by the way, JB and I are the same age.
What?
We're the exact same age. So that's just some insight into what a lifetime of hard liquor. So, I'm not trying to be funny.
No,
but,
you got clean living.
And
right.
literally, we're the same age. So,
A cautionary tale.
So that, okay, now see, that's okay, I wish you weren't even showing that. That is so non-Christian.
But you can buy it on your website, though.
All right, now.
Well, you know, of course, if I get paid for it.
All right, so I got together with the Container Boys, Johnny, Dan, and Shannabrook. When Moonshiners finally ends, we thought of new shows to pitch featuring you. These are the deep-fried TV show pitches for Killer Beaz. This would be new things that would spring off the success of Moonshiners.
Gotcha.
The first one would be Moony Shiners. This would involve a religious group that makes moonshine. I think monks have done that, haven't they?
I think, definitely. Beer for sure.
There is Moonshriners.
Okay.
I think this is self-explanatory. There would also be Moon Airliners. This would somebody that enjoys flying, a hobbyist that makes their own shine there. Also, the Honeymoon Shiners.
See?
Still right there.
You like the idea because we thought you'd be perfect.
A reboot.
As Norton.
I wanted to make a moonshine called Honeymoon Shine.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Now, Shiners, that would just take the alcohol out of it.
No, that's what happens after a night of drinking
That's right.
moonshine.
Yeah,
That's right there.
Now, also, Moon Whiners. Now, Johnny Gwynn, Moon Whiners.
Are people who complain about the moon, and we do a show about that.
Okay,
You'd
and
be the star.
some people do.
We can complain about. Do I complain or do I?
No, you go and
placate
interview
them?
them. You find people that complain about the moon.
Then there's something more controversial, Mooning Shiners. These would be people that would moon others, and they would also have particularly shiny buttocks.
This is so crazy because looking at the monitor from here, I did not know if that was bosom or buttocks.
Well, there you go.
Seriously, I mean that looked like a top.
That would be a question for the Container Boys.
Is it bosom or buttocks?
Or we could have mooning
Together.
whiners. These would be people that they whine about being mooned.
So there you go. So now I got both.
Not
Put it
about
together.
the moon.
Right.
Right,
Well, no,
about
the
being
first
mean.
one was the moon, and now it would be people getting mooned.
Oh, okay.
Just a few ideas.
I had a great
for
sea of
moonshiners.
tranquility joke, but we've moved.
Now we're going to open the phone lines up now to take a few phone calls for Killer Beaz. So go ahead and think of your questions for Killer Beaz. There is the phone number.
I'm a relationship counselor.
No,
Anything you need.
obviously, 290-BULL, 290-2855 is the phone number. We are opening the phone lines now. Also want to remind you that Abe Partridge will be performing.
Yeah.
I know Abe Partridge.
He's coming up, presented by Callahan's. We'll be getting to this right after we take phone calls with Killer Beaz. We'll be getting into that later. Now, you were also on the WTF podcast.
With Mark Maron.
Awesome.
So
Right.
now, what was your...
Sat in the chair that Obama sat in
goodness.
when he was on the podcast.
Now, I've listened to some episodes of this, even though it has a vulgar name, And I've noticed that on some other episodes, there's been kind of a dismissiveness toward Southern comics or the Foxworthys and all of that. Did you experience any of that at all?
Not at all. He was
Good.
very cordial. He and I knew who each other. We met in Montreal, Canada. I saw him walk by and went, I got to go say hey to him. So I flagged him. I said, Mark Marin. He goes, it's Marin, like Barron. Okay, thank you. So I go, can I have a second? Sure. He had an entourage with him.
Entourage?
I had an entourage. So I stopped and I went, hey, man, I go, and I kind of loaded it up because I knew he would know who I was because of my years in the business. We used to work a lot of the same clubs, but never at the same time. I went, well, I just want to say, hey, I'm a comedian. Didn't tell him who it was. I go, I work out of the South. And I went, I used to say his name, Killer Beaz. And he stopped in his tracks. And he turned on. Y'all know who this is? He was that cordial. He goes, this guy's a legend, Killer. He goes, I go, man, I want to be on your podcast. He goes, come to L.A., I'll put you on.
Awesome.
Shoot me an email, let me know when you'll come out, I'll book you.
All right, so what was, after you were on it, and at the time it was one of the top in the country, before everybody and their brother got a podcast. So what was the reaction after you did the podcast?
Oh, it was great, man. I drove up to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. There was a little open mic night up there, and I knew the guys up there, so I went, let me come up and do a set, working on some new material. Went up there, walked in, everybody was talking about the podcast.
Right.
Do you realize what you did? I go, yeah, I realize it, dude. I spent $1,286 going to L.A. for one day to
Go in
that
the
thing.
garage.
Yeah, but he was very, very cordial. And that's something that in this art form, stand-up comedy, any spoken word art form is hard. And so the guys who have been out here a while respect the struggle. Even if you don't really like what another guy does, you don't like his angle of attack, if you will, really means nothing when it comes to the respect part, because we have all fought that fight and we've fought that strugl.
Do you like watching comedians?
No, hate watching them. Hate watching people whose career's doing better than mine.
Okay, all right, competitive, very nice.
Well, the thing is, I mean, it's like being at work. I don't want to watch comedians.
Okay,
I
all right.
got you.
Very
You know,
nice.
That's what I do, man. That's what I struggle with every day and night, my whole life. So I don't want to.
Now, you were in the John Miller, Bo McGraw.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this, by the way, is after Bo and I trying to learn how to live off the land in the woods, ate some mushrooms we found in the woods. And this is me receiving a phone call on a pine cone from somebody. I have no idea who that was, but and that's me playing a alien, by the way.
Yeah.
And by the way, Bo McGraw right here, and right here, this is Creek Wilson. Creek has like 38 movie credits. He's in Jasper, Alabama. A lot of Alabama people doing good here. Creek came to my show a week before last in Huntsville. Got to see him just the other day.
So we're going to have a lot of guests on next week's show as a Christmas special.
So Stephen Jinks.
We've got Sock Cop we've already mentioned. Also, John Miller's going to play some Christmas music.
Yes.
You've worked with these big production companies. You've done lots of stuff in 39 years. How do you rank John Miller?
Genius.
Yeah. I think so, too.
Workaholic. Great to work with. Good personality. You know, doesn't get ruffled. And we've done some projects together and doesn't get ruffled. So love John Miller, man.
Very nice. We love John Miller as well.
Very good.
Now, these would be your comedy albums.
That would be some comedy albums.
On your website.
So people that enjoy you tonight and want to find you online, what is your website?
KillerBeaz.com, B-E-A-Z, because we didn't know any better. And
Lots of merch?
Facebook, yeah, we got some merch, you know. Really just send money.
Okay. We like to
cut
ask
out
for
all
money
that
too.
shipping to y'all and y'all waiting for something to show up. So,
All right.
Yeah, can I get some moonshine on that?
yeah. Hit me up on Facebook for moonshine. I love
All right.
that.
Well, let's ask before. And by the way, the phone lines are now open, so
Right.
go ahead and give us a call. By the way, the phone call segment brought to you by Container Yard, where we do this show. Downtown office space and co-working starting at $3.99 a day, where creativity and commerce meets, containeryardworks.com. We want to take your phone calls. Before we go to the phones, moonshine, being on Moonshiners, does everybody want to talk to you about moonshine?
Everybody that talks to me about moonshine's granddaddy used to make moonshine.
Okay.
Everybody. Where my granddaddy up in Pelahatchie, Mississippi, used to make the, so, and it's actually kind of a neat thing, man, because I believe a lot of Americans are intrigued with with distillation like that. So a lot of people ask me about it, but it is hilarious. When I would go work the ships, for instance, everybody wanted to know if I brought moonshine on board. Well, yes, I did. I come through security. Crew has really stout security, man. So it is just so funny. But there's so much chemistry and physics and allure to the art form, man. It is intriguing. So I'm just so blessed and lucky to be in on that, man. It is so much fun. I never envisioned that in my life I would get to hang with years in the woods with master distillers learning the art form of moonshining. So I could make you a batch of moonshine if need be. I don't own a moonshine still.
What would it be called if you had one? If you had your own moonshine, what would it be called?
Well, there would be the Killer Beaz Stinging Honey.
Oh, that's good.
There would be the Killer Beaz Honey Moonshine that would put all those little horny goat weed and all that stuff they say helps that kind of stuff.
Oh, I got you.
And
Yeah.
I'd put a logo of a lady on the label going, "It's our second honeymoon in one day." I'd put that on there.
Uncle, that'd be good for you.
It would not be good for
It would
me,
be
and you
good
know
for you.
that. But I do appreciate the fact that you have developed a skill that if we go into like Mad Max Thunderdome lifestyle with all of the things going on in the world, you could survive as a moonshiner.
I could indeed. I could have the ABC store.
You could.
AB's Corporation. ABC.
Very nice.
I could hook y'all up.
Do we have any calls for Killer Beaz?
Those phone lines are lighting up. They're lighting up. If y'all have been on hold.
All right, caller, hello. All right, would you hang up on that caller? Hang up! All right, could we get a real call?
So that's the caller I get. That's
Do we have another
Killer
call?
Beaz.
Hey.
All right, hello, caller.
Hey, man.
Yes, this is the Rod Man.
Oh, hey,
The
buddy. How
Rod
you
Man.
doing? That's Rod Cochran. I love him.
Thank you, brother. I love you too. I just wanted to say, normally I call in, we have fun, but I wanted to tell you that you are a treasure to the Mobile community. You also the comedy. You are a legend in comedy, and I have been a fan and a friend of yours for so long. And I want to thank you on behalf of all the radio DJs like myself that you've been on our show and made it some of the best shows ever. You've spent a lifetime doing it, and I think from all of us radio personalities, you deserve a round of applause for that. You really do.
Very much. Thank you.
Yes. And
Rod.
one more thing, and just one more thing, I just want to ask you, and this is a serious question, is what is your favorite Van Halen song?
Why are you asking that?
My favorite band, I'm going to say Ain't Talking About Love. Because I love that opening little guitar lick, man. Palm muted.
Well, if he's not talking about love, it's something worse than that.
Now, see, now you're overanalyzing. Rod
right.
Cochran, thank you. I love you, man. Thank you so much, buddy.
Love you, brother.
Let's talk
Thank
soon.
you. All right, that was wonderful that Killer Beaz, being a pro, elegantly got us out of that. Do we have any other callers?
I saw the need.
Hello, caller.
Hey, Beaz. Hey, Beaz.
Hey, man.
You need to tell the story about the chicken wire and the solo cups show.
Chicken wire and solo cups.
That was not Athens, Alabama, kind of near Athens, Alabama. I did a show at a barbecue place, and they had moonshine, allegedly, They had moonshine and barbecue and a stage with chicken wire in front of it. So I have actually done a chicken wire show, and it was fantastic. It was
Congratulations.
great. I know, man. Isn't that great?
Did anybody throw something at the chicken wire?
Everybody did.
Okay. All right. Well, that's why it's there, I guess.
I was protected. A pointy bra cup cannot come through chicken wire.
Very good. All right. Do we have another caller?
Y'all hung up on somebody.
We do that a lot. Hello, caller.
Hey, what's going on there, my friends? It's your old pal Sock Cop.
Sock Cop.
Hey, man. Woo!
Sock Cop will be here next week.
Yes.
Sock Cop. Now,
I know Sock Cop. I love Sock Cop.
do you have any questions for Killer Beaz Sock Cop?
Well, yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. Me and him both have done the John Miller gimmick where we watch movies, and I got to tell you, I watched the one that he did about there was a movie called Attack of the Giant Leeches.
Right.
I watch it at least 2 or 3 times a month. It was so good. It was so good. I love it.
I didn't think I did well on that movie. I had great lines. I didn't think my delivery was what I wanted it to be. But that was a fun movie. You know, remember Mystery Science
Yes.
Theater? Where
Yes.
well, John Miller does a thing where, and Sock Cop is doing, where you sit and you rag on these movies and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. But I didn't feel like I did real well on it. But thank you for those kind words, man.
Well, you know, that's the way it goes. You know, these master performers, you know, you're always your harshest critic, that type of thing.
True that.
But I just wanted to ask you, what is your opinion on speeding?
It's a good question.
On what?
Speeding.
Speeding?
Oh,
Like
speeding.
driving in a car
Just
speeding.
driving too fast.
Yes.
Here's what I do. I put my support your local law enforcement sticker on the back of my car. Right beside where it says Maserati. Put it right beside there. No, it says Hyundai. Anyway, I get those mixed up. I think speeding is good as long as you're not stupidly speeding. Cruise control has saved a lot of people from tickets. So,
All right.
I do like a cruise control. I'm a little bit upset at that answer. I was kind of hoping for a full demonization of speeding from you.
here's what I
know.
will say. I'm one of those people that if I go down the road and there's somebody beating up a cop, I'm going to stop and help the cop. I'll say that. Does that help me?
That's good.
Okay, what?
And my dad was
That's a little bit of redemption, yeah.
my dad was a 32-year veteran of the police department in Jackson, Mississippi, and he taught me never drive faster than you feel safe.
All right.
So
There you go. Okay,
Well,
you
wait.
won me back. You
Well,
won
here-
me back. I appreciate that.
Sock Cop, here's the question, though. If you were clocking a speeder, somebody driving over the speed limit, and you pulled him over, and it turned out to be Killer Beaz, would he get a warning or would he get a ticket?
Oh no, that's a ticket for sure.
well now,
All right.
well what if there was moonshine in the deal for you?
Well, then you're going to get a open container ticket as well.
No, the lid's screwed on.
What, do you like to share?
Yes. Win-win.
No, you're still getting a ticket.
Well, Sock Cop, thank you so much for calling in. We're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Hey, good talking to you, man.
No, I can't wait. Hey, good talking to you. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to next week. I got to get you onto the old Sockcast one of these days.
Yeah,
we'll talk one
buddy,
of these
let's
days,
do it,
Killer Beaz.
man. Love you, man.
Sock Cop, happy National
All right.
Sock
Thank-
Day.
All right,
What?
goodbye.
Hey, Sock Cop, it's Johnny.
Okay, goodbye.
No, wait, John. Hey, Sock Cop.
All right, look, he's
I'm trying to give him a happy National Sock Day. Today is National Sock Day.
Hey, we got that.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much for wishing me a happy National Sock Day. I had no idea. You're the only one that's told me that, so I appreciate that. That means a lot to me.
All right, very good. Sock Cop, God bless you. Can't wait to see you.
Okay, goodbye.
See you, man.
All right, do we have any other calls? Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Norman. Hey, Norman.
Happy National Sock Day to y'all.
Well, thank you.
Look, first off, Mr. Beaz, I went and seen you, years ago at the Punchline and the Comedy Club. I've always enjoyed it, and I thought you was funny. And I saw you down there at the Bigfoot movie thing with John Miller, and that was enjoyable. And I also have to tell you that, my granddaddy did, he made them corn squeezins out in 8 Mile, Alabama, 50-something years ago. So I know everybody tells you that, but I just wanted to tell you that.
Awesome.
But I enjoy the show. My question is, does the moonshine that you drink, does it upset your stomach as much as does it give you dysentery like on the cruise ships when you go to Mexico and them places down there?
No, sir. Actually, the moonshine combats that. Yeah. Yeah, very few parasitic entities can live through high-proof moonshine.
Well, that's comforting to know. I was wondering about that. But anyhow, well, you're funny. I enjoy the show. Y'all have a good evening and roll tide.
Hey,
Roll
thanks for
Tide, roll.
calling, man.
I would
Thank
say,
you, Norman.
Healthy livers don't live through a lot of that real fancy moonshine.
Why you want to be all buzzkill like
Well,
that?
I'm not saying I don't drink it.
Why you
I'm
want
not
to
saying I
bring?
don't drink it.
Why
I'm
you
just
want to
saying.
bring physiology into a situation?
Do we have
about-
any other calls for Killer Beaz? Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hey. Hey, tonight's show is awesome. Killer Beaz, you're awesome.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Hey. Thank you. Woo. Hey, I love your comedy, but your name's a little intimidating because I'm allergic to bees.
You know what? I'm changing my name today for you.
Wow.
I'm a give.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice. Well, the problem is every time they sting me, I just swell right up. Of course, it would take like 2,000 bee stings for me to swell up as big as Henry's fat mother.
You leave my mother out of this, please. Please. We've already established she's recovering.
She's not just fat. She's also nice.
All right, the 10 Commandments clock, Killer Beaz. This shows that we're going to have to wind up some of the phone calls. Only a few more calls.
Did we break all the commandments yet?
We have not broken
We're also
commandments.
still looking for a sponsor for the 10 Commandments clock.
What?
Look, we have.
Why do we have to sponsor the 10
We have
Commandments?
to monetize the show so we can keep going. And one of the things that people like is the 10 Commandments clock. So we have to find somebody to sponsor that.
People are going to send money for us to say their name during the 10 Commandment clock.
Do you think Bible people don't make a lot of money on TV talking about
All right,
things
Johnny,
like that?
we have not discussed this.
Just say it.
We've not discussed this. You're offended as I am. Good. All right, we have a few more minutes. Remember, Abe Partridge is coming up. Abe Partridge, strong enough to have been a main guest on the show in and of himself. So stay tuned for that. Do we have any other calls? All right, let's go through a few more here. Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hey, I love you. That's how you started out.
Thank you.
Okay. But I'm sorry for the call about people saying bad things about your mother.
Oh, well, thank you. It is disgusting.
The entire audience here is shocked by it. Everybody here is just like, they're like 800 people, and they're all like, wow, I cannot believe he said that. Fat mother. Your fat mother, he said.
I know. But the thing is, your mother is very, very nice.
All of her. I mean, like, all of your mom.
All right. Is there anything more to this? Do you have anything? What is your call coach telling you to say next?
Actually, I'm here to say that your mother is as fat as she is nice. Goodbye.
All right, look, hang up on this. Dadgummit, don't hand the phone to your kids. I know for a fact that no child would ever want to watch this show. Ever. I mean, this show is used by some parents as a punishment on their children. No, you've got to turn off the PlayStation and watch this show because you did not finish your peas or some other garbage.
Kids, imagine what it's like being on the show.
See? Stop. Don't ever put your kids on the phone again. Do we have any other calls? Hello, caller. Caller.
Yes, I believe the House is trying to vote to legalize marijuana. I was just wondering what your take on that would be.
Well,
or why is moonshine legal and pot not legal? What's your idea on that?
And I'm glad you asked that question. I went to Las Vegas and we went in one of those marijuana stores, and the stuff is weird. It's got these weird names, stuff like kryptonite. I'm like, you want me to smoke the stuff that kills Superman? So 9-pound hammer, pie hole, Uncle Henry.
It's disgusting.
So here's what I'm thinking, and I'm looking for sponsors. Maybe we can team up. Maybe we can partner up. If they pass medical marijuana in Alabama, I want to open a dispensary, but we're going to name the product, because we know the demographics, we're going to name the product after stuff that's on Cracker Barrel's menu. So that
For
people
example,
can come in, roll me up some corn on the cob and some of that fried okra. And I'd be like, what is this for? Family reunion? Potluck.
Rocking chair.
all right.
Couch lock.
All right. Hang up on the dope head. Hang up on the dope head. All right, look, before we move any further, all you people out there that got excited because Congress voted to legalize dope smoking. Oh, my Lord, let's have a party. Let me bring you back to reality. We live in Alabama. This will be the last state. This will be the last one. I think there's only like 10 or 15 states that have legalized the recreational use. We're going to be dead last in Alabama. Not going to happen in my lifetime.
Can I make a prediction? We'll be the 52nd state to legalize weed.
Oh, after Puerto Rico?
Well, just saying.
Okay.
And here's what's weird now. If you get caught with marijuana in Alabama, they will hang you with a rope made out of hemp.
Hypocrisy of government.
Don't get excited, dope heads. Don't get excited if you're a dope head. All right, a few more calls. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, you're on with Killer Beaz.
Hey.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Are you smoking kryptonite?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
All right, hang up on that old dope head. Do we have any legitimate calls? Hello, caller. Hello, caller. All right, hang up on that guy. Hang up. Are we done with calls? We have one more. All right, one more call for Killer Beaz.
This is our final caller?
Yes, it will be.
This is going to be great.
It's already been disastrous. Hello, caller.
Well, I love that moonshine that makes you forget who you are and what you represent.
Yeah.
I wonder about some of those names, like in Alabama. If they started selling dope in Alabama, would it be like turnip greens and collards, or?
All right, we just went over this. He was talking about this 3 minutes ago. Hang up on that guy.
This, the phone calls are kind of a love-hate thing. I've noticed that. It's not.
Well, we had Sock Cop was wonderful.
No, he was great.
Rod Man.
Yeah.
And then Norman.
Yeah.
But every other call was lousy.
They was tainted, kind of. Can we just fake them next time?
Well,
That would be one.
Just have somebody go, hey, man, y'all are great. This is a fun show. I want to invest in that Ten Commandment thing.
You know what? We'll work on that.
I will take even prank calls for that.
If this show continues into 2021, we will have fake callers. All right, well, Killer Beaz.
Oh, we got one more. We got to end on a positive. Let's try to end on a I'm being positive. Let's end on a positive.
All right.
A positive call?
All right, let's
We'll see.
Fake call.
It's
Fake
a
call.
It's a crap
Fake call.
All right, one more. Hello.
What?
Reagan girl?
Killer Beaz, this is Julie, Rodman's girlfriend.
Woohoo! Hello, darling. How are you? Is your mom still mad at me?
I'm good, baby. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much. What up?
Well, I needed to know how to get a hold of corporate. You know, I need to monopolize on Rodman's success. I need to know how she does it with you.
Rodman is in the background coaching Mrs. Rodman.
Okay.
No, I need her secrets.
For his corporate to contact my corporate, Killer Beaz Inc. at cs.com.
All right.
Killer Beaz, B-E-A-Z.
Hang up on them. All right, Rodman, hang up on this woman. You call in here talking every week, it's David Lee Roth. But would David Lee Roth hand the phone off to his girlfriend? Come on, Rodman. All right, I'm sorry, but that was ridiculous, and he knows it.
He's the love child of David Lee Roth. You know that.
All right. He does dress like David.
Remember when this show used to be fun? Remember that?
I said that when the Antifa guy showed up last time. Remember that?
I do remember that. All right, look, we've got to move on because we've got an incredible musical guest, Killer Beaz. We've got to get you to guess the dadgum mystery box. All right, before you leave the set, Johnny Gwynn, mystery box. Johnny Gwynn, take it away.
Trying to see my mark. Wait, you need to look at me, Killer.
Oh, I was helping you.
Beaz, look at me. Okay, so I'm about to violate your brain here. You ready? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give you a picture of something we have talked about that is in that container over there.
Right.
So on a 3, 2, 1 countdown, you give me what I am putting in your brain. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
Moonshine.
I didn't get a thing. You didn't say it? 3, 2, 1.
Moonshine.
There we go. Now it's official. There we go.
All right, at the end of the program, we will find out what's in the dadgum lanyap mystery box.
Please, this week.
Now, do people win what's in the box if they...
No, they get a year supply of the digital subscription to Lanyap. I'm just saying.
That's life-changing.
It is.
It's fantastic. Hey, local news is very important.
Killer Beaz, thank you so much for doing the show.
I love this. This is great.
I appreciate you pretending to enjoy doing the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Killer Beaz.
Yeah!
I'm leaving. Love you, man.
Thank you, Killer Beaz.
All right, buddy.
Always an honor to have Killer Beaz on the program. Now we welcome
Have fun, buddy.
to the Uncle Henry Internet Show, Abe Partridge.
Yeah!
Abe Partridge will be singing for us tonight, playing guitar for us tonight. Abe Partridge's special performance is a courtesy of Callahan's, presented by Callahan's. Cold beer, hot meat, tasty tunes. See him in Oakley. It's an honor to be associated with Callahan's and glad that they are in Mobile, part of the fabric of our lives. So Abe Partridge, I told one of my coworkers at iHeartRadio at 95 KSJ, Shelby Mitchell, that you were going to be on the show. I don't know if you know her, but she almost fainted. She's such a huge fan. She ran down a list of songs. She's played some of them on 95 KSJ. You've got fans locally. People love you.
Well, maybe. I reckon so, yeah.
So before you play for us, when you describe yourself, how do you describe your musical performances to people that have never heard you before?
Well, I just say listen to one. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, Abe Partridge, how many songs are you going to play for us tonight?
As many as you want, Uncle Henry. But I was told 2, but you know, I ain't doing nothing else. Well.
2 is good. So Abe Partridge, by the way, as you listen to him, abepartridge.com, the website. So, without further ado, then, please, ladies and gentlemen, Abe Partridge. Yeah.
That song's called the Black Flag T-Shirt Lament. It's about being an artist in Mobile, Alabama.
Wow, okay, good.
Well, the neon lights cry and fill the silence of the night as the falsely civilized, they come to seek their thrills, and the Holy Ghost roams these dripping streets alone. But he can't find a single heart to steal. It's just another smiling face and a phony handshake as them posers fill the art district streets. So I just smile back, ashamed of the whole act. That's the price I pay for being part of the scene. And I like your Black Flag T-shirt from a designer in New York that in an act of rebellion you bought off Amazon. And you covered your jacket with reproduction band patches that you never listened to even when you were young. But I could love enough for the both of us that it's getting harder for me to count the cost. And now with every dirty dollar, man, I'm beginning to wonder if there's any purity left in my great art. Now Nero may have played his fiddle, but Rome rotted from the middle, and folks have a way of weaving myths into tales. We know our story all so well. It was heroin and shotgun shells, till my generation's art died with Chris Cornell. Maybe it's the influences of my youth that gave me this jagged truth, and maybe it's my punk rock ideals. But this old hippie jam, it's a beach town trinket scam. And like Dylan, man, I'm stuck in Mobile. Now I've given up on crime, so it may appear that I ain't trying. It's just hard to be an artist in this town. So I'll curse here to trod. I'll close my eyes and I'll sing to God, 'cause I knew you wouldn't listen anyhow. Yes, I knew you wouldn't listen anyhow.
That was terrific.
Well, thank you. Thank
Hey,
you.
before we get to your next song, we heard Killer Beaz talk earlier about playing behind chicken wire.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a rough? Have you ever played in a rough establishment where you wished there was chicken wire?
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say probably at least 25% of the shows I play.
Killer Beaz was talking about how he has not been able to perform much at all during all this.
Yes.
Have you been able to get out and do some performances this year?
Just a handful, but nothing to speak of. Just kind of maybe 4 shows or so since the coronavirus came.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything on the schedule this year?
I'm playing over at the Merry Widow, I think, on the 12th, and then I got a show at the People's Room in Mobile in January, but that's about it. Prior to the coronavirus, I stayed on the road all the time, but now I'm just kind of stay at the house in a paint.
All right, so before we get to the second song, if people go to abepartridge.com, we can find your music. We can buy your music there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to sell it to you.
Okay, I'm sure that you would. Yes, Johnny
I have a
Gwynn?
question. Everybody, Abe Partridge did a wonderful interview with Karen Simmons, Aunt Karen Simmons, on the Cheers to Business podcast, and he talked about his Abe Partridge Art Club, that you were going to have 100 people be a part of your art club, that you would send them art every month. Have you gotten to 100 people yet?
We are like 3 people short, I think, so we still got room if you want to get in.
Wow. Okay, and people can find that podcast at deepfriedstudios.com. The Cheers to Business.
Yeah.
Cheerstobusiness.com. All right, well, the second song you're going to play for us tonight, what is this song about?
I reckon I'll play you a song that I wrote when I was in the desert. I was over in the desert in 2013 and 14. I wrote it when I was over there. It's called Undisclosed Location in Southwest Asia, Killing Floor Blues.
All right. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Abe Partridge.
Maybe it'd help if I turn this thing up, huh, Dan? Okay. Well, I'm a uniform nothing in this nowhere land. In this dry desert heat, in this dry desert sand, and the camel in the distance, Lord, he looks so free. As the wind blows the dust from his hide, in between my clenched teeth, my clenched teeth, my clenched teeth. And the bombs, they just keep a-falling from them undertakers in the sky. And I think about my babies. When I left them, they were crying. And I know I will never believe everything that I believed before. 'Cause I can't even tell the difference between a prison and this war. A prison and this war. A prison and this war. Because there might have been a time when it was right to say God bless you. But I'm afraid that time is no more. And there might have been a time when it was right for us to ask forgiveness. But the killers ain't the ones praying. when we were out on the killing floor. And so I'll just lace up my boots like I've done the last 100 days. And feel the sting of the Arabian sun bearing down upon my face. Cause I done stared this devil down, and I'm starting to realize that the good guys and the bad guys, we ain't so easily defined. No, we ain't so easily defined. We ain't so easily defined. No, we ain't so easily defined. We ain't so easily defined.
Nice. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you having me.
So abepartridge.com, you can find him there. You can join the art club. You can purchase as much music as you can afford. Now, yes, Johnny Gwynn?
Before we go to the container
Yes.
thingy, can I make a request?
Okay.
Will you play the Willie Ride song?
Well, if Uncle Henry wants me to and you want me to, I reckon.
That song was so beautiful and so serious, and we're about to get really silly, and I don't think it. Look,
Okay.
Please, no.
All right.
All right, well, okay, so a third song from Abe Partridge.
Well, I was born in Alabama, and like old Suzanne, I got a banjo on my knee. I ain't got a lot of money, but brother, I will make it, so don't you worry about me. Cause I'll smoke 'em when I got 'em, and sing one when I need to, and I try to remember all the words. Cause it's troubles and heartaches, but life's still worth living, and a song to make it easier. So yes, ride, really ride, and roll, Willie, roll. The IRS will take your money, but they can't take your soul. And do you like my version of Red-Headed Stranger? Is the guitar part alright? I don't sound as cool as old Willie Nelson, but brother, I'm just as high. Cause I'll smoke 'em when I got 'em, and sing one when I need to, and I'll try to remember all the words. Cause it's troubles and heartaches, but life's still worth living, and a song to make it easier. So yes, ride, Willie, ride, and roll, Willie, roll. The IRS will take your money, but they can't take your soul. And I went to school with Gina. She was from West Mobile, a South Alabama hippie. And when we were in class, she drew psychedelic posters with Crayolas and Sharpies. And she'd smoke 'em when she had 'em, and sang one when she needed to, and she tried to remember all the words. Cause it's troubles and heartaches, but life's still worth living, and a song to make it easier. So yes, ride, really ride, and roll, Willie, roll. The IRS will take your money, but they can't take your soul. Yes, ride, Willie, ride, and roll, Willie, roll. The IRS will take your money, but they can't take your soul.
Thank you.
outstanding.
Oh, sorry.
That was,
right.
yeah, I'll get there. That was outstanding. Thank you, Johnny Gwynn, for asking for that song.
Thank you.
Now, that's what a producer does.
Yeah.
Finally, it's a recognition.
Yes, indeed. All right, so we are going to now go to, again, abepartridge.com is where you go.
Yeah.
Now, the Lagniappe Mystery Box. This is time. This is now. You're going to do the garbage with.
Look, it's the only time I get to get on the show, so
all right.
you know.
All right, do your work.
All right, I will count down 3, 2, 1, and I will
do me like you did Killer Beaz.
I will penetrate your brain.
Okay.
And with a mental image of what's in the container behind you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
I think it's one like a little statue of the Ten Commandments, like you'd buy at the flea market or something.
There you go. I like that one. There you go.
Very good. Wouldn't that be? We'd love to have that.
You would love it. It would look good right here somewhere.
It would. All right, so it's time now to reveal what's in
It's time to reveal. We have to.
the Lagniappe Mystery Box.
Dan has said that Dan said that I could try to get the lights a little dimmer. So bear with me here. So
Lagniappe Mystery Box.
We're doing this. We're doing this.
Oh,
a little more.
I didn't get it.
Patter. Some
Oh,
patter, please.
man.
Some patter. Some patter, please.
Well, our sound man was doing some other stuff, and that's
Yeah.
why we didn't get the.
Yeah.
So we're trying our best.
Now we've got to go to a dark set for this.
Yes, dark set, dark set.
I'm getting nervous.
I am too. They don't ever tell me about what's in the mystery box. All right, it's not on camera yet.
All right, are we ready?
Wait for it to be on camera. There we go.
All right, so are we ready? 3, 2, 1. It didn't work.
It's the moon.
But it's supposed to be shining. It's moonshine. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be working. Seriously? Shine some light on this thing, for God's sakes.
Is it Bluetooth?
Here, give me this. Look.
All right.
There we go.
All right. All right.
There we go. Look. Hey, wait. In editing, that's going to look awesome. So at moonshine. So Killer Beaz got it.
All right.
Sorry,
right.
I apologize for all
Well,
of
I
that.
want to apologize to the viewer and to the Container Boys because I've learned that anytime I praise Johnny's producing, then that happens. And it happens just about every dadgum week on the program. One of the wonderful reasons why we'll never, ever be on broadcast or cable television. All right, well, look, we want to thank once again Killer Beaz. Thank you to Killer Beaz. Also want to thank once again Abe Partridge.
Yes, sir.
abepartridge.com. killerbeaz.com as well. Don't forget to keep this show going. Go to PayPal, look for Deep Fried Live on PayPal.
Yeah.
Go to Venmo.com and look for Deep Fried Live there to make sure we can continue to do this. We'd love to continue doing this into 2021. Also, don't forget Johnny Gwynn. You can go talk to him about your displeasure with the mystery box. If you don't like the mystery box, go to the holiday market at the Pillars. That is tomorrow, beginning at 9, and you can purchase the Cup o' Joe as a Christmas gift, all the T-shirts. That's tomorrow, holiday market at the Pillars to complain about the mystery box. So again, I want to thank Joe Shannabrook. Thank you to Joe Shannabrook for running the phones. Dan, the sound man, thank you for all your hard work. Of course, all the very hard work. This show took a lot of work. I didn't do it. Johnny Gwynn did. Thank you to Johnny Gwynn for all the work that he has done on the show. I want to say get well to my mother who has got COVID, and please get well soon to her husband, Joe Faust. Joe Faust, get well soon. We're all praying for you. And anybody that has any kind of malady, get well soon, and we'll pray for you. Let's please end the Dadgum Show. End it. Goodbye. Turn it off. Don't make me get up and walk off. Is it over? End it while I'm sitting here. Just end it. Turn it off. All right, we're done. Thank you for watching. Dad, damn it, I wish I could just